So with Halloween coming up, I've been looking for a Halloween-themed fanfiction for us to read, and after a while of searching, I think we finally found a pretty good one. This story is called Legend of Silas Scratch. I believe this guy, Silas Scratch, shows up at like a camp or something and gets everyone all scared and stuff, so I hope this takes like a darker tone to it and just takes it so seriously, because if that is the case, this could be something really special. October 2020. My name is Gregory Heffley. Let's get straight to the point, because I have a horrid story to tell. It all happened about 10 years ago, when I was about 14 or 15 years old. This is more of a true story than a legend. Boy, where do I even start? My dad took my brother Roderick and I on a camping trip. I remember how he said it would be good for us to get out into the great outdoors. As much as I wanted to be at home, the trip started out okay. We set up camp in a random campsite in the woods. When we were done, Roderick and I decided to go swimming in the lake. Not going to lie, it was actually pretty fun. When it got dark, Roderick and I went back to the site and we sat around the campfire, roasting hot dogs. Roderick suggested we tell scary stories. I wasn't up for it, considering I'd never had good experiences after hearing a scary story. Although I did remember hearing a story about an old farmer named Silas Scratch at the field trip the year prior. The legend had it that he was kicked off Hardscrabble Farms, the place where the field trips are now held, and he went crazy out in the woods. I later found out that my dad made the whole thing up to keep kids away from his somewhat luxurious secret shack. I knew that the campsite we were staying at wasn't far from Hardscrabble Farms, which was somewhere off the highway. I'm not exactly sure that was the reason for the strange feeling I was starting to get as the fire began to die, slowly. We didn't tell any scary stories, unless you count talking about how Mom and Manny were probably living it up at home scary. I know Roderick definitely did. Eventually we went to bed. It was a peaceful night, though it was very cold. I've never been too tolerant of cold weather. In the morning, Dad discovered that we hadn't packed enough food. He got into the car to go get some more, but there was no gas. I could have sworn we were full when we arrived at the campsite yesterday. Go to the gas station, it isn't far. I knew he wouldn't make Roderick do it since he was sleeping, and he wouldn't do it because he was already done with this crap. The gas station wasn't close either. It was about 3 miles west on foot. At least Dad didn't forget to bring money, so I was on my way. I walked in a straight line for what seemed like hours. By now it was already noon. I couldn't even hear the highway. I kept going and eventually came across a river, which Dad never told me about. Maybe I was going in the wrong direction. Yeah, I was lost. I began to panic. I was pretty far from the campsite, and who knows how far I was from civilization. I wandered around for another half hour until I started hearing strange noises. I figured it was just rodents and such, until I heard a scratching noise that made my ears ring. I don't know if it was really loud or what, but it sounded like it was in my head. I started to sprint in a random direction. That's when I crashed right into Roderick. My reflexes kicked in, and I accidentally kneed him in a certain area. After Roderick recovered, he gave me a good punch on the arm and dragged me back to the campsite by the ear. The site was only about a 10-minute walk. So this guy somehow got lost and said he was walking around for hours, but he was only 10 minutes away from the campsite. Roderick told me Dad sent him to go look for me, and after searching for hours, he found me on his way back. Dad was standing by the tent, panting like he'd just run 10 miles or something. I asked him what he was doing, and he said he just went on a jog. He didn't even ask where I was or if I was okay. It was starting to get dark, and Dad said he would go get some gas tomorrow. Something was off about him. His hands were shaking a lot, which is weird because his hands never shake, but with dealing with tiny figurines all the time. Greg, Roderick, go get some firewood. He gave us specific directions where to find the best firewood. Weird, but I'll let it pass. Okay, alright, so the page just inverted colors. Now we got a black page and white lettering. I don't know why it changed, because from what I'm reading right now, it's still Greg talking, so, you know, I thought for a second maybe it was that Silas guy. That would have been pretty cool, but no, I have no idea why it just inverted colors. We wandered around collecting sticks until we came upon the edge of the forest. Right down a hill was an abandoned farm with a musty old barn. Roderick immediately dropped the wood he was holding and sprinted down the hill to explore. I, on the other hand, was not up for that. but I figured it would be better to be with someone in open land other than alone in a forest at night. With that, I clutched my flashlight and caught up to Roderick, who was calling me a wimp. We slowly walked through the stalks of withered corn. I hate to admit it, but I jumped at every sound, especially when Roderick jump scared me. I noticed that the soil beneath me was making slushing sounds with every step I took, so I curiously bent down to examine it. I ripped a handful of soil out of the ground. It was wet, which was strange since it hadn't rained in months. It was impossible for someone to be still watering the rundown place, right? I squeezed the soil and shone my flashlight on it. The liquid dripped off of my hand, but the liquid was red. I shrieked and ran over to Roderick, who was standing at the edge of the cornfield. I was about to tell him about the soil when I noticed he was staring at something. He didn't have fear in his eyes, but confusion. I slowly followed his gaze, only to see what he was looking at. A field of muddy hands. I let out a sound that was meant to be a scream, but it sounded more of like one of Sweetie's farts. Roderick punched me on the arm and called me a wuss. He said, "This is awesome," before dragging me into the creepy old barn along with him. I writhed and squirmed, but he was set on exploring and torturing me at the same time. When we slipped through a large gap between the boarded up door, Roderick went straight in, peeking around every corner with his flashlight. I don't know how those hands didn't freak him out enough. I think I saw some of them twitching. Even with Roderick shuffling around, it was really quiet in there. I followed Roderick closely, bumping into him every 5 seconds. Eventually, we were nearly at the other end of the barn when we saw something on the wall. Scratch marks. And then I heard it. The same sound I heard when I was lost in the woods. The scratching noise again sounded like it was inside my mind. But it wasn't. And then, he emerged from the darkness. At first I was in disbelief, considering the story about him was proven to be fake. So I figured it must be a nasty prank some old guy was pulling on us. Boy, was I wrong. I stared at the lanky, hairless figure in front of me. His ribs were poking out, looking almost sharp as his claws. His claws. Before I could even process anything, he said something that I didn't expect would send chills running down my spine. "Would you like to come help me with the harvest?" Silas Scratch. His raspy voice came from every corner of the barn and through my mind. I glanced over at Roderick, and he was just as shooken up as I was. When I looked back at Silas, he was walking towards us, his head twitching and jerking from side to side like a rusty animatronic. Silas Scratch continued to walk towards us, and despite how slowly he was coming, it felt as though my feet were planted into the ground. Eventually, he reached us, and Roderick's reflexes kicked in. He bashed the old bag of fleas on the head with his flashlight, but Silas was just close enough to scratch Roderick's face as he fell. Roderick grabbed my arm and we booked it. I ran like my life depended on it. Well, it did. As we sprinted through the maze of corn, we started to hear a bunch of tapping noises. I glanced over my shoulder to see that the hands that were on the ground by the barn were crawling after us like a bunch of spiders. They were covered in mud and leaving trails of blood. At the edge of the forest, I felt something wrap around my ankle. A few of the hands were coiling their fingers around my ankle, causing me to die. Nah, that's not that. A few of the hands were coiling their fingers around my ankle, causing me to trip and land on my face. They twisted my ankle slowly, and I could still feel the pain as I write this. I called for Roderick, and he stopped dead in his tracks to help me. He stomped on the hands and hoisted me onto his back. To this day, I will never know how he managed to run so fast with his little brother clinging onto him. Eventually, we spotted the outline of her tent through the faint moonlight. Roderick was struggling with his breath, and I was just in plain shock from all those events. When we got to the burnt-out fire, Roderick dropped me gently. Well, as gentle as he could given the current circumstances. I was so relieved as the sounds of the hands died down, but it was just a little too quiet. Why would the hands just suddenly stop when we got back? It was all very strange. Well, I'd finally gotten over the initial shock of my twisted ankle, but that didn't help the pain at all. I was about to ask Roderick for help when he brought something to my attention. Wait, where's Dad? I mean, he was acting weird earlier, so who knows, or cares. But before I could really think about it, something was ripping through the soil and dry sticks where the fire was supposed to be. Of course it's another hand. Hooray! To be clear, it wasn't actually just another hand. It was Dad's. His whole body ripped through the ground as he pulled himself up. He looked like he'd gone completely insane. The master is hungry. What? Does he mean Silas Scratch? I mean, Dad came through the ground and I heard that Silas had a bunch of underground tunnels, but that didn't matter right now. Dad was... Okay, enough with the stupid pranks. Pranks? Pranks? By now I was starting to think Roderick was the delusional one. My point was proven correct when Dad suddenly lunged at us out of nowhere. All I could see before I blacked out was Dad's bloodshot eyes. And unfortunately, it looks like that is the final part to The Legend of Silas Scratch, because I was looking for page 14, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I go to the comments, and right here, Noobish Fish, the person who made the story, replied to this guy right here, said, "Is there going to be a finale, or is this done?" And then he said, "This isn't the end, but I probably won't continue this. If I ever do, I'd like to make changes to the story and redo it. So I'm not seeing any more parts of Silas Scratch," which is really unfortunate because this is exactly what I was hoping for. It was serious, it was scary, or as scary as reading a story could be. I was really into this, and I know a lot of people were really into this because I was looking at the comments. People were excited, people were liking it, but man, unfortunately, it looks like that is the final part of Silas Scratch. But since that one was short, I want to read another fanfiction that has a horror aspect to it, so let's go into that one. Okay, and for the next story, we got pretty spooky one, I think. Just by the picture of it, it looks kind of scary to me. I'm pretty sure this is a movie too, The Ring. I haven't watched it because I don't fuck around with scary shit. I am horrible with scary stuff, so... yeah, I've never seen this, but I'm pretty sure this is the thing that comes out of the TV and comes and kills you in a week or something. I don't even know. That's what I think it is. I mean, this should be a pretty cool story if it stays true to the movie, which I know almost nothing about. So let's hop in and see what we're dealing with. Tuesday. At school today, Albert Sandy was telling another lie like he always does. It just seemed like another one of his stupid lies, but something feels off. It was about some tape. If you watch it, you die in 7 days. Albert said he has the tape and he'll sell it to us for $10 after school. But I think it's a cheap cash grab. So right off the bat, it is what I was thinking. It's if you watch it, you die in a week. But who the hell would pay $10 for a dumbass tape just to die in a week? What's the point of that? Who would actually buy that? Of course, everyone fell for the bait. Of course they did. Being the smart person I am, I didn't buy that shit, but I'm intrigued. I want to watch it so bad, but I can't. It feels like something in the back of my brain is telling me to do it. It's too insane, I can't explain it. Wednesday. At lunch today, everyone that watched the tape looked shaken up. They all looked like they had just witnessed someone die. We were all crowding around them, asking what happened, but all they did was stare with their eyes wide open. Only one person said anything the whole day. It was The Ring, man. Don't look at the fucking ring. What the fuck was that about? He said something about a ring. Like a wedding ring? I don't fucking know. I guess we just have to see if what Albert Sandy said is true. In 1 week, they will die. Tuesday. It's been 1 week now, and the people that watched the tape are still here, alive and well. They all seemed to calm down, saying it was just another one of Albert Sandy's stupid lies, and I agree with them. Everyone except the guy who told me about the ring on Wednesday. He was crying at the table, screaming a bunch of nonsense words. Tree well ring. Nobody was bothered by it though. We all thought he just went insane. Boy was I wrong. 7 fucking people were found dead in their homes and were all kids from our fucking school. The Daily Herald. Students found dead in Plainview. Just now, 7 students from Westmore Middle School were found dead in their homes. The students that died all had their faces collapse inwards, confirms that all deaths are connected. Family and friends are all mourning the students' deaths, as all of them had their whole lives ahead of them. We sent our prayers to the families of the dead students. In other news, the killer of the students has not been found, and all of Plainview's police force has stopped all actions to focus on this one. Doctors say cause of death was from a head bashing of possibly multiple weapons. Doctors and experts say that the faces of the students were almost fully decayed, but the rest of the body was not decayed at all. Top, photo of dead student from Westmore Middle School. Left, photos of teens murdered. Raleigh called me saying that 7 kids were murdered just now, and he told me to look at the news. I didn't fucking believe him until I saw it for myself. The news itself was creepy enough, but what made it more creepy was that it was the same fucking people who watched the tape. Either it's just some weird coincidence, or some fucking demonic shit is going on right now. Wednesday. You know, you would think that when people die, people would be sad. But no, people got excited. I guess everyone realized that the deaths and the tapes that Albert Sandy sold are connected somehow, so now everyone wants one of them. During lunch today, it looked like fucking Black Friday. Everyone wanted to get their hands on the tapes, and they were selling out quick. I wanted to get one, but I didn't because I'm not stupid like these other people. Shit. When people see that something can possibly kill them, they go for it. When they die, and I'm alive, I'll laugh over their fucking dead bodies. That sounded morbid, but I didn't mean it like that. But in reality, they are only gonna die if this demonic tape thing is real, but it's clearly not, right? It's sad that this might be real. Friday. A total of 30 people have watched the tape since Wednesday, and the same thing happened. They all look like someone had died. I can't tell if this is just some inside joke I'm not in on, or it's real. Whatever it is, it's still really creeping me out. Saturday. Manny fucking watched the tape. I don't know when or how, but he did. It's always fucking Manny. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was behind it all. Like, he was just coming out of people's TVs and shit. Cause Manny, that kid is crazy. He had the same face as all the other people did when they watched the tape. Gasped face and eyes wide open. Who knows how the fuck that little piece of shit got that fucking tape in the first place? Well, that doesn't matter because mom is pissed now. What the fuck is going on here? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention earlier that me and Rowley are having a sleepover right now. Anyway, mom took the tape out of the TV and gave it to me, telling me to throw it away while she confronted the currently crying Manny. Having the tape in my hands made the urge to watch the tape even stronger, and I can't stop it. I have to watch it. I hid the tape in my pants and me and Rowley went downstairs to sleep, but I had other plans if you know what I mean. With Rowley at my side, I put the tape into the TV and the film began. It was hard to explain what happened next. Basically, the tape just showed a bunch of weird images which included a ring, a tree, and a lot of maggots. It also showed the girl with the really long black hair that covered her face. Then there was a static screen and that was it. I wasn't fazed by it. But Rowley on the other hand, not so much. Just then, our landline got a call at midnight. I thought it was fucking weird that there was a call at this time, but I answered the phone anyways. When I answered the call, it was silent. I thought it was just a prank call, so I hung up, but then the line ran again, immediately. I decided to ignore it and go downstairs, but it didn't stop ringing. It got so annoying I had to pick it up because I was about to go insane. I expected the call to be silent, but I was wrong. 7 days. That's all it said before it hung up. What the fuck? I expected the call to be from some stupid boy pranking me or something, but no. It was the voice from a little girl. Me and Rowley were freaked the fuck out, so we slept in the bathroom for the rest of the night. Sunday. 6 days left. After Rowley left to go home, I started thinking about the plan to save me from the supposed demonic phone call. I have to think of ways to defend myself from that little demonic girl. I was thinking of using a bat and sticking nails into it. I'll also save Manny if I have to. Not because I want to. That little shit can burn in hell for all I care. Monday. 5 days left. I've been seeing strange things. First of all, every time I look at myself through a camera, my face is all blurry and distorted. Every time I tell somebody to look at me through the camera, they all say I look fine except for Rowley. He's having the same problem also. I guess this officially concludes that the demonic phone call girl is real, and we have to find a way to stop her. We thought about many ideas, but when I fucking lost it was when Rowley said we should stop it by being nice to it. I wanted to slap him in the face so hard then. We couldn't think of any good ideas until I thought of something perfect. We could go back to the person that originally gave us the tapes, Albert Sandy. Hey man, I don't know how to stop it, I'm just a dealer man. We were about to leave, thinking this was all a waste of time, but he said something else. Okay, chill, I'll talk man. First thing is, don't be by a TV when it has been 7 days, or any electric device. Also, be nice or something. Shit. Man, he actually said something useful for once. Also, be nice? Like, the fuck? Sounds like something fucking Rowley would say, not him. Anyway, I guess we have to stay in a place with absolutely no electric services when the clock strikes 7 days. Wednesday, 3 days left. Well, you guessed it, everyone who watched the tape is now fucking dead like we all expected. There's now a town lockdown and everyone is required to stay in their houses because of the recent killings. but we all know what that really is. Mom's been taking the recent lockdown very seriously. It's gotten so serious where she's enforcing us to all stay locked up in the basement until the lockdown is over. But let me tell you, that is not a good idea. I wouldn't be as nervous about being down there, but what is making me more nervous is that there's 3 TVs down there. If this lockdown lasts longer than 3 days, I'm going to die down there with my whole family watching it happen. They won't care about me though. All they would care about is sweet old fucking Manny. Oh no, Manny is dead. Oh yeah, Greg is also dead, but who cares about him? I'm also going insane, and it's been less than a day. Friday, 1 day left. Every day, the feeling gets worse. Yesterday, I found maggots in the storeroom. And yes, it was the same maggots I saw in the video. If I don't get out of here soon, I'll go crazy and kill myself before that little girl does. Early in the morning today, I snuck outside while everyone was sleeping, and I went to go find Raleigh. I snuck into Raleigh's house and up to his room, and I found him huddled under his blanket, crying hysterically. I told him we need to go find a place where we can be safe from the evil demonic girl, but he was a little reluctant at first. He gave in though when I said there will be snacks. Really? We snuck out of Raleigh's house with snacks, and we headed down into the woods where there would be no electronics. After a while of venturing into the woods, we got lost. Like, we were dead lost. It was getting dark by now and we couldn't see anything. We ventured deeper into the woods. After walking for a little bit more, we found an old shack. It was perfect. There's no electronics at all around here. The shack was almost completely empty except for an old couch. It was so boring we had to think of other ways to entertain ourselves. Let's just say Raleigh couldn't take the heat. At least I lost my virginity before I died. Hey yo, what? Saturday, the day. Well, today's the day. Me and Raleigh have been hiding in an old closet in the shack. We each have sharp sticks to protect us, but I don't think they will be able to defend us from the girl. I also found a weird picture in the closet. It was of some family with a boy and a girl. In the picture, they were standing in front of the shack. There was also a well. It all makes sense now. I have to be nice. I opened the door and ran outside. Raleigh was yelling at me to come back inside, but I didn't care. This is the way. This is how we survive. I got to the well and looked inside. It was so deep I can't see the bottom. But with my super smart instincts, I jumped inside. The well was so deep. I felt like I had been falling for minutes. The well was also pitch black and I couldn't see anything. Good thing I had my phone though, so I was able to turn on a flashlight. There was a fucking dead body. After bringing myself back together from the crazy sight, I realized it was the same girl from the tape. I held the girl in my arms and told her I was sorry about whatever happened to her. I told her she should have had a better life and this should have never happened to her. Then I started to cry. 15 minutes later, I stopped crying when I felt something hit the back of my head. It was a rope. I looked up to see where it had come from, and I saw Raleigh holding the rope. Hello, Greg. You good down there? Oh, what the hell is that, a dead body? You don't know how happy I was to see him. When I got out of the well, I had to thank Raleigh for saving me. What? They're back at it again. Damn. Sunday. It is now Sunday, and there has been no demonic girl attacking us, so I think we beat the ring. I can't say everyone beat the ring, though. Manny fucking died. I can't say I didn't expect it, but I kind of feel sad for the little guy, even though he was a pain in the fucking ass sometimes. Like the time he destroyed my console and the time he turned off all of the electricity in the house except for his room. You know, maybe he should die. That motherfucker's insane. Also, how the fuck did he do that? He's fucking 3. Shit. Maybe he's the devil in disguise. I don't know. 1 week later. It has been 1 week since the events, and things are better now. The lockdown is over now and everyone seems to be fine now. Except for Mom and of course Manny. Dad and Roderick are fine though. They thought Manny was a bitch also. Me and Raleigh's friendship is stronger than ever. I guess when people have near-death experiences together, they bond together strongly. I can't believe we survived though. It seems unreal. The scary thing is though, that I still have the feeling that this isn't over yet, and the ring girl is still coming for us, ready to strike at any moment. But for now though, me and Raleigh are just living life. Huh, that's weird. The screen just turned to static. Nothing seems wrong with the TV though, which is weird. What the fuck? Something's coming out of the TV. It's the fucking girl. The girl's going for Raleigh. Raleigh can't defend himself. It's too strong. It's almost got Raleigh. I jumped on Raleigh. It's eating Raleigh. No. Raleigh fucking died. Greg Heffley will return. In Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the devil made me do it. For now though, the end. I mean, if there's more parts to the story, we might as well keep going. So, this one is called The Devil Made Me Do It. December, Monday. It's been 1 month since Riley's death, and things haven't been going good. Hearing the news of Riley's death, Mrs. Jefferson didn't take it too well. And in worse news, everyone thinks I did the murdering last month. Even though I didn't, of course. They haven't arrested me yet because they have no evidence that I did it. But if they find the smallest bit of evidence, I'm done for. The whole school is outcasting me. Even my own family. The only person who even talks to me anymore is not the person I wouldn't want to be talking to every day. You guessed it. It's motherfucking Albert Sandy. The only reason he is talking to me is because he is the only other person who knows who exactly killed all those people. But of course, nobody believes us. But it makes sense though. In what world would a demonic tape kill people? I guess this is that world. Thursday. I was crying at lunch today, remembering the death of Riley, and Albert asked me what was wrong. I told him that I'm still sad Riley died. That's when he lit up my world. I know how to bring Riley back. Holy shit. Albert Sandy told me that he could give me some weird ritual thing that you can talk to the devil with. He said you can tell it to do lots of things. 1, bring people back to life. It seemed a little bit sketchy, but it has to be real because the last thing he sold was real. The tape. Also, any chance where I can bring Riley back is a chance I have to take. I told him I'd take it and he said $5. $5 to fucking bring someone back to life? What the fuck is this guy on? After I paid him, he gave me some weird box with creepy symbols on the outside of it. Albert told me to open the box and follow the instruction kit inside. I thought it seemed a little bit weird that to summon the devil or whatever you need an instruction kit, but I took it home anyways. When I got home, my parents didn't even care I had some satanic box. They didn't even care about me, so this will make it easier to bring Riley back to life. Friday. There seems to be a red glow coming from the box and it's kinda creeping me out. When it stops glowing, I'll open it. Saturday. So it finally stopped glowing and I think I'm going to open it. Okay, I'm about to open it. Okay, let me try to read this. I'm guessing it says, if I die and you're reading this, that means I fucking died and someone found this journal. If I didn't die, you wouldn't be reading this, but instead be blacked out. This goes to my family and Rowley. I miss you, Rowley, and I'll see you in... It says heaven. Okay, I open it up, and like Albert said, there was an instruction manual inside. How to summon the devil. Step 1, grab salt and draw it out in this exact symbol. Step 2, light around 150 candles around the symbol. Step 3, recite this ritual while sitting in the middle of a symbol. And now you're done. Yeah, there's no more parts after that. The guy who made this, the last one he posted was the one we just read, and that was 2 months ago. I'm guessing he probably does get Rowley back, but Rowley's like evil or some shit. That's probably what's gonna happen, but I don't know when he's gonna release the rest of the story, because that was 2 months ago that he uploaded that, and hasn't posted anything since. So that looks like it's the end of the fan fiction. Not gonna lie, I kind of like the Ring one a little bit more than the Silas Scratch one because it was unfinished, and I'm just disappointed because that story could have been something so good. That's gonna do it for the Halloween special of reading the weirdest fan fiction stories we can find. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more fan fiction stories. And of course, as always, if you have any recommendations for stories to do in the future, leave them in the comments down below. I'll add it to a list, and whenever I need a story to read, I'll just grab that and I'll make a video on it. And if you're going out for Halloween, stay safe and have a great time. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.